All right, here we are. We're about to get the element of surprise big time.
Element of surprise.
Brahs, Dan Man style.
Right on, dude.
You guys ready for some Dan videos?
Oh man, no way.
Oh my god!
What? Look at what these guys did. Look at what these guys just did. I know you. I know you. I don't know anybody else. What's up, D?
This is what it's like. This is real life.
Look at what these guys did. They called me down here, they rented me a car, and they said, come to Kentucky. And I said, well, all right, let's do it. Who are you?
Lisa Phillips.
You must be a big fan of the Dan Man.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Lisa,
You saved my life.
I saved your life?
You did.
Tell us how.
Well, I was verging on obesity, and I was not eating very well, and I was looking for something to save me, and I just happened to find your videos on YouTube, and
How long ago did you find the videos?
it was in June.
June, July,
June of
August.
2010.
That was a year ago.
Yeah.
And you have lost a little weight?
Yes, I have.
Feeling better?
Yes, I actually lost 63 pounds in the first 5 months of following.
That's
fruits
pretty
and veg.
typical of the Dan Man plan if you follow it.
It was
Fruits and
amazing.
vegetables.
Exactly.
What has happened since?
I actually fell off the wheel for about 2 months and started to beat myself up.
Cool.
But then this whole thing kind of happened, and I put a video up, and
A few Reese's peanut butter cups, a little fried chicken.
She's been on it though since she's been here for real.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
that's the
Time.
secret is
I'm
getting
back.
into fields of energy where people are doing what you're doing. I happen to be so lucky to be the raw food king, so everywhere I go it's all about raw foods. So nobody tries to hand me no candy bars or anything else. And if I demand like green juice, I pretty much get it.
And I mean, you know, something that really resonated with me was, you know, you said in your first 3 years you had a few struggles, and you know, at first, you know, beating myself up seemed the normal thing to do, right? But in a lot of your videos, as I said, you would talk about falling off the wheel and how you just kind of got back on, and that was really inspirational.
Yeah, and you know what?
appreciate that.
11 years later, nothing's different.
Exactly.
It's a never-ending process. This process never stops.
Liferegenerator, baby.
You know what I mean? It doesn't ever stop. I mean, if you're not getting your ass kicked, you're not doing it right. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You gotta be. You're always pushing yourself to the next level.
Susan Cross McCons, what
Amen.
day is it? What?
Yeah, you gotta hear this story.
This is day 9.5.
And this is she's been eating this every day. Do you believe that?
What is it?
Consuming water.
Water.
Nice.
That long.
Everybody's been eating the most wonderful organic fruits and vegetables.
How's your energy, Susan?
It was good till about last night, and I feel like a little wee kitten today. So,
Some things are moving through.
yeah, I think so. I think it's really just, it took me this long to really get into the detox part of it.
Good. Yeah, about day 7 is when a true water fast starts,
Well,
and you're there,
I've
huh?
got to be driving home to Texas, so I'm going to start drinking juice tonight.
I would do that. You want to have a little sugar on your brain when you start to
Yeah,
get into
yeah,
traffic.
especially with the windy Kentucky roads.
Cool.
She kept saying
I'm
she
so
wanted to
glad.
drink juice. We're like, just wait a little longer. We'll wait for the juice man, the official
I went to the
Liferegenerator.
farmer's market yesterday and bought, 6 or 8 watermelons and stuff, and I just got to look at them and wait. But I'm so glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here, Susan. You're one of my champs.
She's
God
a real
bless you.
champion. She's so nonchalant about it. Just
And
like,
I can't wait to get home too and weigh and see how much I've lost too. That'll be.
And how much health you've gained.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the never-ending process that goes on beyond the end of this life.
We were promised that we were going to get to see Dan the Man videos today, so I climbed 3 flights of stairs to get up here.
Okay, here's your Dan the Man video.
What's up, baby?
There you go. We're back. Who are you?
Stacy.
Stacy. Do you know who this guy is standing in front of you?
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh, cool.
You're how I was introduced. to this.
You're how I was introduced. You're how I was introduced. You're how I was introduced.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Right here. The raw Brahs.
The Raw Bras?
Yep.
Wow.
It was like, I don't
Look
know
at
how
you
long it was.
guys.
We were watching videos in our living room, and who would have thought that we would have had you as a special guest at our Raw retreat? And I remember
Funny,
Nathaniel
funny
was like,
world.
"You gotta watch this guy like juicing these vegetables," and you were like in the back of your RV. I think it was somewhere in the middle of the United States.
Back when I was
Just-
pure and innocent.
Just sticking stuff in the juicer. Like, oh, we got a good juicer, and then we got the juicer. We're feeling pretty good. And we're like, what's he talking about? Raw foods? What are raw foods?
Wow.
And now, like I said, a year later, here you are at our raw retreat.
I hear that a lot, people say on my videos, and it does perk me up a bit and keep me going, because you got to have something to keep you going. They say, you know, you don't know how many people you're helping. And I think I'm just a skinny weirdo, you know what I mean? And I still feel that way today. But maybe that's part of the humility that keeps it so where the people can relate, you know what I mean? I don't feel any more special than anybody else anywhere. I love raw foods. I love health. And myself, you know, I'm just getting started. Like today's the first day of my journey. So I'm going to continue to press on and try to continue to do the best that I can for myself, because in the end it isn't about like physical health or looking good, but it's about like your soul. You know, it's about like having a regenerated soul, a fresh new soul every moment of your life, so that you can just feel that clean, crisp purity of God's love right now, not later when you get where you need to go, or when you feel when you're good enough, or when you're pretty enough, when you've lost enough weight, but when you're actually feeling alive right now and okay with everything that's going on in your life. And when everyone's beating you up on YouTube, or your ex-wife's tearing you a new booty hole, because none of you guys even know, do you? Because you haven't seen, there's no internet out here. So none of you know the drama of the Liferegenerator channel lately, but you know what? It keeps me going. I keep going. I'm not going to stop, because I guess I'm in a room full of people that can dig it.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
We're all part of the Liferegenerator's drama.
Cool. You guys look good, man. You guys look better in real life for sure.
You look pretty good on camera, but yeah, I agree.
You see what you eat, you know, iceberg lettuce and nasty watermelons, and ride 3,000 miles and see how you look. This ride has aged me about 10 years, but that's okay, because if you don't live now, you ain't probably never going to live. And, you know, there might be a lot of people that see you living and get jealous and want to drag you down.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
say, well, that's cool. Do your thing, but I'm going to burn it. I'm going to live it. And you're going to say at the end of it all, this guy, even though I hated him, he lived. He lived when no one else gave themselves permission to live and love and kick some ass out there in this thing we call life. So is there anybody else that wants to share a Liferegenerator thing? Do you guys know who I am?
I know who you are.
You know who I am? Do you have a story?
Not really.
Cool. Well, I mean, just cool videos, right?
Your
Like,
story starts here.
I guess this is a really small town, and I think you were in Washington when she started watching you, and she introduced me to you, this gal in town.
Oh.
And so just know like how wide.
are you
were
from
reaching.
Seattle area?
I was raised in Seattle. I lived in Wenatchee.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
And you flew from there to here?
No, this is our facility.
Oh.
So yeah. Hi, it's nice to meet
Yeah.
you.
What's your name?
Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's a widespread thing, I guess.
It is, and just that you know, this is a really trendy diet right now, the raw food. But to whether people stick with it or not, I think it'll leave a lasting impression on their lives. To that how little raw foods and life-giving foods that they're actually eating and introducing to their lives. So just,
Trendy, huh? In an eternal kind of
in
concept.
an eternal. Well, I just feel like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, that's the new pink, you know, and trying it out and whatnot. But I think it's really, in that sense, really getting out there and making an impression on a lot of people.
Yeah, before fire,
Right.
for the billions of years on this planet, every single organism that is alive
Was
ate
raw.
raw living foods. And now the
Absolutely.
humans are trying to give us slack,
Right.
because we actually have a brain in our heads and can understand that eating dead stuff, it leads to death, and
Right.
eating live stuff leads to life.
Right.
And you know, you can be as strung out on anything as you want and rationalize all kinds of things with your intellectual mind, but you can't tell a deer to cook its food. You can't tell a lion to cook its food and eat it, because what do they do in the zoos? That's right. The zookeeper will tell you, no, do not feed the lion cooked meat, because it will get sick. But then you feed the humans cooked meat every day, 3 times a day, and then when they get every kind of disease under the sun, you say, well, we've got to find some way to suppress these symptoms. It's very, very simple. Living foods is, you know, it's so common sense once you're there. And then when you're a total 100% raw foodist, then you want to really laser it in and start eating at the proper times when the sun is right, when your liver's clean, taking a day off every week from eating, and just basically like live off liquids, because you learn to realize the body struggles with food, even if it's raw. You know what I mean? Your human spirit doesn't need food. And every time you eat, you feel like you come down off a God high. You know, it kind of sucks, but you have to be responsible too and realize that you have to care for the organism. That's why I'm so skinny. If I didn't have to eat, I wouldn't. Because every time I eat, I feel the presence of God leave me. You know what I mean? It kind of sucks. But you have to eat, otherwise you won't be able to ride very far. So there's a lot we can discuss, but it was great to meet you guys and have a spontaneous, thanks for having me out, Rob Ross.
Sure.
And just taking a few days from the ride here, I rented a convertible again, Mitsubishi Eclipse, and drove down here with a fire behind me, dodged a few cops, and here I am for a couple of days, and I'll be headed back up to Rochester, New York, to finish out this bike ride, but to head to the
Just
Woodstock.
when you guys thought the free treat was coming to an end, we're going to regenerate you.
Wait, he's saying?
Anybody else? We got 30 seconds to say goodbye to the people on YouTube.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Make sure she sees this. It'll go up tonight or tomorrow.
I love you, my sisters. My sister Carla. She introduced me to you.
Carla introduced you?
Yes, my sister introduced me to
Wow.
you. And my sister, and I'm going to go back to Florida to help my sister with all this new information I have, help her beat her cancer.
Amen.
Cancer, beat it.
Yeah.
Get healthy. Okay, guys, we got to
Yes.
go. Love ya.
I got one.
Bye-bye.
Visit YouTube, Rob Ross, Facebook, Rob Ross, RAWBRAHS, and we'll give you a...
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.